Okay guys, we're back this week. We were off last week, so hopefully you guys were able to use some of that stuff that we did in the first week. Did y'all?
She said it made her printing way faster.
Really?
I thought I needed a new printer, but I don't.
I didn't get to set it. She was telling me that something called Fast Draft, and it wasn't on here when I read it. And I was just wondering if you could, like later on during class, if you could just quickly tell me what the Fast Draft is on the, like to make a printer.
Switch the printer
Oh yeah,
setting.
yeah.
Just like
Okay.
after.
I don't know if you guys were able to hear that, but one of the students was able to get her printer to print faster because it's something that we did. And I'm going to go through that right now, just real quick, just to kind of show you. One of the other students was asking. You go into Alto, do it on your computer. Alto. Go into Setup. Properties. And right here where it says Print Quality, open that little box and it has Fast Draft. And on yours it may say Fast Draft Print Quality or something like that. I don't know. Is it open? You have it open?
Mine just says draft. It doesn't even say Fast Draft. Right here.
High.
Oh.
Print Quality high. And that should do it. So if for some reason you do it, always check that, because for some reason it always seems to revert back. And I hadn't been able to get it to stay. Usually when you press OK, you press Fast Draft, press OK, then usually it's supposed to keep it, but for some reason, and it does it on my computer too, it doesn't always keep it. And then usually, I mean, you know, and I had bought a printer that it was supposed to do like 40 pages a minute or whatever, and it was doing like 1 page a minute. Oh, jeez. You know, when you have a 150 or 200 page transcript you're trying to get out, wow, yeah. So, you know, that's how you do it, okay? So you want me to walk through it one more time? Alto. Alto, Setup, Properties, Print Quality. See how it went back?
To normal.
Fast Draft. So it's something that you're always going to have to check, and I have to do it too still, you know, on mine. So, I mean, it's just something that that you have to do, but I mean, it's no big deal.
What is best quality? Is it faster?
You always want to pick the first one. So if it says best quality, but I mean, to me, and I haven't found any difference in the best quality and the fast. I think it says fast. What is it? Fast something. But it doesn't do it on my computer anymore. It was on my old computer. Fast Draft. Fast Draft is what it is. So it sounds like it's going to be better on the best quality. It's not. It's the same, except it just goes faster. Okay. So. All right. So we're going to talk about toolbars. And you know, if you guys remember, you know, to watch the visualizers, like I told you guys last week, what you do is click on the here, and then just press Alt V, and it plays.
If you're a mouse lover, you'll appreciate the many icons that are built into Total Eclipse. So let's see how to arrange the toolbars to meet your needs. How to arrange the toolbars to meet your needs. You can pull down the window menu to customize your toolbars. You can select large icons or small icons, but we'll show you how to do this in a separate visualizer. For now, let's open the dialog that lets you toggle on or off the various elements of your display. The speed key for this dialog is Shift-Control F3. Here you'll find checkboxes to turn on the various toolbars of your system, and there's also a fast way to turn off all the toolbars if you want to make a little extra space. The speed key for turn off all toolbars is Shift-Control F2. The View Toggles dialog is also where you control the appearance of the info bar. This is the display column at the left edge of the eclipse. Here is where Automagic choices appear most typically. So as you move your cursor from word to word, Eclipse offers you the most likely editing choices. You can, however, also display Automagic choices in a small pop-up window. We'll show that in a separate visualizer. Also, the visualizer that is specifically about the info bar will show you how there you can see translation statistics in real time, as well as an audio indicator and auto-brief suggestions to make it easier to write.
Okay, a lot of information in that little thing right there, but it all kind of covers the same thing. It's just talking about the toolbars and what you can do. What I like to do is keep it simple. So if you notice mine, that's all I have. Really, that's all you need, because with the hyper keys, it lets you do pretty much all the other stuff that the other toolbars or icons are going to let you do anyway. So really, you can do it with your hands on the keys rather than having to go to the toolbars and the other icons. So I'm going to play it again and I'm going to stop. And
if you're a mouse lover, you'll appreciate the many icons that are built into Total Eclipse. So let's see how to arrange the toolbars to meet your needs. You can pull down the window menu to customize your needs. You can pull down the window menu to customize your...
So do that right now. Pull down that window menu and kind of go along with what they're doing. So you can customize, to anything you want, And, if you want to hit on that thing, hit on the customized toolbars and open it, or do Control-Shift F1, and then does it pop up, and then you can kind of check which ones you want on there. Is that what it does? Yeah. So, you can go in there and put whichever ones that you think that you're going to end up using more or whatever, so, no big deal.
Your toolbars. You can select large icons or small icons, but we'll show you how to do this in a separate visualizer. For now, let's open the dialog that lets you toggle on or off the various elements of your display. The speed key for this dialog is Shift Control F3. Here you'll find checkboxes to turn on the various tools.
Do that right now. Go into that right now. It should be Control Shift F3. Did it open up this box of View Toggles? Everyone has it? Yeah. And just kind of mess around with it. You're not really going to mess anything up, too bad to where we can't, fix it or whatever. So if you do mess it up, just come to class the next day and ask, one of the students, hey, open up your View Toggles or whatever, and let me see what you have checked or whatever, and I can kind of compare what you have. If you want to go back to, you have something on there and you can't remember how to get it off. So, check the various toolbars or whatever. Check all of them, and it'll show you exactly, and it's a lot. It's way, way, way more than what you need, okay? But mess around with it, kind of see what you like or whatever, and then, when you want to turn them completely off, you don't have to go through and check each one. All you have to do is just go through and check the all off, okay? So, you want the status bar, the paragraph bar, document tab bar, note bar, and then the info bar is what gives you your Automagic keys on the side, okay? And it's going to show you that in just a bit when they put it on. So if you want to do the, kind of check the info bar and kind of see what it does, right here, the info bar. You want the Automagic on. Use numbers, hotkeys. The pop-up is a little bit different, and I use it, and it's really, I like it, but some people don't. So when you're editing, what it's going to do, and I don't know if it'll show you or not.
Toolbars of your system, and there's also a fast way to turn off all the
See how when you press all 6 of them, I mean, look at all these things. I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to take up more of your page than what you need. You know, so you don't want all of this wasted space with the stuff that you're not going to use, I mean, probably 1/10 of this stuff, you know. The stuff that you're going to use is pretty much on that first one. But, you know, if you want the second one, I mean, you can customize it, like I said. So, you know, if you want to customize other things that you want on there, I mean, you can. So, you know, just mess around with it. If you want to see, you know, real-time statistics, you can put that one on too. So, just kind of mess with it, kind of see what you like.
Toolbars, if you want to make a little extra space. The speed key for turn off all toolbars is Shift Control F2. The View Toggles dialog is also where you control the appearance of the info bar. This is the display.
That's this right here. Extremely, extremely handy. Okay, so I'd suggest you turn that one on. Okay? That's the info bar right here. Got it? Slick?
Yes.
Column at the left edge of the Eclipse screen. Here is where automatic choices appear most typically. As you move your cursor from word to word, Eclipse offers you the most likely editing choices.
Okay, and on this Automagic, the Automagic is going to be like this. This is the Automagic right here. Okay, so when you have this on, that's the info bar, Automagic, and the Automagic gives you different. I'm brain dead today. Sorry, guys. It gives you suggestions. Thank you. Different suggestions of, like, when you're moving through your document, the more you use this software, the more it's going to know how you write. Not, you know, how she writes, or, you know, this other guy writes, or whatever. The more that you use it towards yourself, the more it adapts to what you're trying to do. So it's guessing ahead of time what it thinks you're wanting to do. Okay, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, because we go into one of the lesson players is all about that, and it's actually pretty neat. It's really neat. So what this little pop-up thing does, I mean, you have these little things. So say, you know, you're in the middle of the document and you have the word one, O-N-E. Well, over here is number 1. It's going to give you number 1 as a choice. Number 2 is going to be maybe 1 o'clock. Number 3 is going to be $1. Number 4 is going to be Roman numeral 1. So it's going to give you all of these choices of what that one word does. Okay? What this little thing does, the pop-up, as you're going along in the document, it opens a little box and shows you right there. So you don't have to look over to the side. You don't have to look over here. It's right above each word. So it's, and I'll show you guys. It's actually pretty neat. I like it, but other people, it distracts them. They say when they're editing, it's too much for them. You know.
I'm trying to read whole sentences and I'm trying to pan over to get
Yeah.
something. It's like popping up like
Yeah.
that stop. I just want to read the whole sentence and then go back in.
But it's pretty cool because I like it because it's right there and I can pick the number of the one that I want if I misstroked or if I want something else, or you know, and it's really good with like briefs. You know, so, you know, say I'm taking the deposition of Mr. Krzyzewski, and say I write it chef. Well, you define it as chef, but say I did cheffer, and I didn't do chef. You understand what I'm saying? S-H-E-F and then S-H-E-F-R. Just because I drug my finger just a little bit. You know, I don't usually do that, but I'm just kidding. It happens to everybody, guys. Well, guess what? This software, I guarantee, already has it as one of the examples. You know what? It's pretty close to chef, and last time you wrote chef, it was Krzyzewski. So usually it's going to be like your number 1, you know, right here. So you just hit number 1. You don't have to go in there and type the whole name Krzyzewski again. You just hit number 1 and it pops it in there. It's pretty cool, you know. And once you start using this software, I mean, your editing time is going to go way down, and that's what you want. You know, I mean, you want to work smarter, not harder, okay? You'll hear me say that quite a bit. So, and that's what it's all about. It's all about working smarter, not harder. So that's what this little thing does. It gives you the option. Auto Magic, over here to the side, no big deal. I mean, you just kind of look to the side, oh, it's number one, whatever. Or the pop-up, where it's popping up right there. As you're moving the word, it's right there above the word. You know, so I like that one better, but you can kind of do whatever you want.
You can, however, also display AutoMagic choices in a small pop-up window. We'll show that in the separate visualizer. The visualizer that is specifically about the info bar will show you how there you can see translation statistics in real time as well as an auto.
And what they're talking about is you writing in real time. That's what these little things are for. So if you want the little box, and we'll see it later in one of the other lessons, but if you want the little box that tells you how fast you're writing, how many untranslates you have, how many conflicts you have, how many pages you have, I mean, it tells you all of that stuff. And it's actually pretty neat. It just kind of, it's one more thing up here in the side, and you can kind of move that box around to wherever you want it, but it's just one more thing on that page. You know, and if it helps you, great. I mean, you want to know how fast you're writing? It tells you. You know, and I kind of like it. I liked it in the beginning. I don't really use it much now because I wanted to see, you know, on certain cases, you know, we have certain attorneys that talk really fast, and I wanted to see how fast. And I don't know if it's right or not, but I mean, I was doing 300 one day. Now, it wasn't for an extended time, but I mean, I was getting after it. And it was a heated discussion between this lady who's really fast, the judge, and the state's attorney. And they're all three talking, you know, not at the same time, but I mean, it's like, you know, well, I object to this, or, you know, and the judge is saying sustain, and, you know, the other one's, no, I mean, it's not because of that, it's because, you know, and it's just boom, 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 where it's real quick, it's just real quick exchanges, but they're not, you know, really talking over one another. And, you know, I mean, you have complete control of the courtroom, so, I mean, if you're not getting it, you just tell the judge, you know, hey, you know, or tell the attorneys, you know, slow down one at a time, you know. And, but, I mean, you kind of get used to certain people, and the one thing you don't want to get too much in the habit of, I mean, you are responsible for that record, but, you know, if it's one of your clients, you're just going to have to learn how to write, you know, real quick. If you know, and there's some attorneys that are really fast, and they, you know, they don't like to get interrupted, but you're responsible for that record, so you have to do what you can. So at a break, you know, you might just say, hey man, you know, slow down just a bit, and they know, but I mean, their minds think so quick that they're just, you know, rattling this stuff off, and they just think that you're getting it, you know, well, you're not a machine, so I mean, you have to be able to tell them. But, and that's all that this does. This little box right here deals with the real time. Okay, so it's just going to show you translation state, stats, auto briefs, and waveform display. The waveform display just shows you that it's recording. Okay?
Audio indicator and...
Sorry. If we have to pass our state test at 225,
Yeah.
what did you personally do to adapt to this 300 words a minute when you start going fast?
I mean, you just, trust me, once you get to that speed, you're going to be able to write faster than you think. You're going to be writing faster than 225. You are. You know, and you get to a point where you just hear it and write it. You just react. You're not thinking about there, it's not that anymore. It's there, we went to the store and blah, blah, blah. And you just hear it react, And that's when you get it. That's when you've gotten it.
So you think it's more of actually being in it and doing it and hearing it, like more of getting the experience, kind of, how should I say, like how to get up to when they're talking that fast.
Yeah.
It's just doing it repetitive.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's all it is. That's all it is. You know, and people say, well, you know, you did the same thing 50 times practicing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you practice. It's being able to hear it and react. That's it. And they say, well, you know, and in speed class, I mean, you guys are in speed class, right? All of you? Okay. I mean, that's all it is. You know, and they're like, well, if they hear the same thing every time, they're going to remember it. It's not about memory. Your mind hears it and then you write it. It's not, oh, well, that word's coming up or whatever, and you're thinking, no.
It's a lot to do with muscle memory as well.
And that's what it is. It's muscle memory. You know, and it's being able to just react. And that's all this is. It's reaction. That's all it is. You know, so it's just being able to hear it and write it. Hear it and write it. It's not, you know, is there a better way to write that? Was that T-H-E-R-E or T-H-E-I-R? Or, you know, it's just hearing it and reacting. You know, and the more you do it, it's muscle memory. It's brain muscle memory and being able to react.
Auto brief suggestions to make it easier to write.
Okay, any questions about that on the toolbars? Pretty basic. I mean, not that big of a deal. I wouldn't spend too much time on it, but I mean, you want the toolbars that you think that you're going to use, okay? Definitely. All right?
Let's see how to read notes and manage steno. Settings, input. The read method needs to be correct for your writer. On some older writers,
You understand what they're saying there? So when you have your real time on, you guys should already have this done. It should already be, I mean, all of this stuff should be in there. So if you're writing real time, all of this stuff is already done. But if not, then you know, this is how you do it. So you just go to the machine, you know, that you need it to. So it's in the user settings, which is Alt-U. Alt-U for user settings.
you may be reading notes through a cable rather than a disk drive. The cable would be connected to a COM port, so you'd need to check the correct COM port on your computer. More typically, your notes are coming off of a floppy disk inserted in drive A, but the newest writers write to a flash disk or other smart media. So this may have been set up by Windows as something other than drive A. Thereafter, you can click on the toolbar icon or use the production menu or speed key Alt-I for input.
And that's what I was telling you guys last week about, you know, say, you know, your computer breaks down, you forget your computer, or maybe you just don't write real time that day, you know, or whatever. This is how you read in notes, okay? So you take the little SD card, put it into your machine. I think we did that the first week, didn't we? Yeah, we did that, and you know, you just put it in there. You do the Alt-I, means input. So they try to keep the letters towards what you're trying to do, okay? So Alt-I for input or insert notes.
But here's the read notes dialog. Give your note file the name that you want the job to have.
So usually when it comes up, I mean, and it does for me, is it comes up like this, and then you want to browse. So it tells you, you know, to browse, and then it'll bring up the dates or whatever, and it looks just like this. File 1, the size of the job